Triple H's reaction to Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker's savage attack on Roman Reigns was caught on hot mic, and what he said will make you absolutely furious about WWE's hypocrisy and complete failure to protect their biggest star from a beating that left him in critical condition. "We don't do that here," Triple H screamed at Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker backstage after their attack crossed every line of safety and professionalism, but the leaked footage proves he's a complete hypocrite who authorized the very violence he's now pretending to condemn. The backstage audio that WWE is desperately trying to suppress shows Triple H in full panic mode when he realized that the attack he personally approved went way beyond what was scripted and left Roman Reigns fighting for his life in a Paris hospital. His fake outrage is nothing but damage control to protect himself from the consequences of his reckless decision-making. Right now, Roman Reigns is on life support because Triple H gave Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker the green light to make it look real without establishing proper safety limits, and now he's acting shocked that his instructions resulted in near-fatal injuries to WWE's biggest star. The leaked footage from backstage shows Triple H's immediate reaction when medical personnel told him that Roman was unconscious and not responding. "What do you mean not responding? It was supposed to be a standard beatdown," proving that he had no idea how violent he had authorized the attack to become. Standard beatdown. Triple H thought he was booking routine wrestling violence, but the leaked production notes show he specifically told Reed and Breakker to take it to the next level and show no mercy because he wanted to create a memorable moment for social media. His instructions to escalate the violence beyond normal parameters directly caused Roman's life-threatening injuries, but now he's trying to blame the wrestlers for following the exact directions he gave them. The hot mic audio reveals Triple H's true priorities in those first moments after the attack. "How does this look for the company? What's our liability exposure? Can we control the narrative?" Not one word about Roman's medical condition until lawyers started asking questions. He was calculating corporate damage control before he even knew if Roman Reigns would survive the attack he authorized. The callous indifference to human life in favor of business concerns is absolutely sickening. The leaked conversation between Triple H and WWE's legal team shows him immediately trying to shift blame away from his decision-making. "The wrestlers went beyond what was discussed. This wasn't what I approved." But the production notes prove he gave broad authorization for escalated violence. Liar. The documented evidence shows Triple H explicitly told production staff to let them go hard and don't stop them unless someone's really hurt, but he defined really hurt as visible bleeding, not internal trauma or unconsciousness. His vague safety parameters created the exact conditions that led to Roman's critical injuries, but he's rewriting history to protect himself from responsibility for nearly getting his biggest star killed. The backstage footage shows Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker looking confused when Triple H started screaming at them about crossing lines. "You told us to make it memorable," Reed responds. "You said to take it to the next level and not hold back." The wrestlers were following Triple H's explicit instructions, but he threw them under the bus the moment he realized the legal and financial consequences of what he had authorized. This is classic corporate scapegoating: give broad directions for violence, then blame the talent when those directions result in serious injuries. Triple H created the dangerous situation and now he's abandoning the wrestlers who trusted his judgment. The leaked audio contains Reed asking Triple H directly, "What did we do wrong? We followed your instructions exactly. You said you wanted it to look real and not pull any punches." The confusion in his voice is heartbreaking because he genuinely thought he was doing his job correctly. But Triple H's response shows his true character. "I never said to hurt him that badly. You should have known better than to take it that far." He's literally gaslighting wrestlers who followed his directions. The manipulation is disgusting. He's making Reed and Breakker question their own understanding of what happened when they have every right to expect clear, safe direction from management. The production meeting transcript that leaked shows Triple H's exact words before the attack: "I want this to be the most talked about segment of the year. Make it look like a real fight. Don't worry about going too far, we can always edit it in post if needed. Don't worry about going too far." He explicitly removed normal safety considerations and told them excess violence could be fixed in editing, but you can't edit out brain trauma and internal bleeding in post-production. His reckless direction created the mindset that led to Roman's critical condition, but now he's pretending he never encouraged the extreme violence that nearly killed the tribal chief. The leaked footage from the attack itself shows production staff following Triple H's pre-show instructions by not stopping the assault even when Roman became obviously unconscious. They let it continue because he told them to prioritize memorable television over performer safety. Multiple camera angles show Roman going limp and unresponsive, but the beating continued for several more minutes because Triple H's team was afraid to interrupt what they thought was his vision for the segment. The negligent failure to stop the attack when Roman lost consciousness directly contributed to the severity of his brain injuries. Triple H's instructions created a culture where performer safety was secondary to television production, but now he's acting outraged that people followed the dangerous precedent he established. The hypocrisy is absolutely staggering when his own policies created the conditions for this tragedy. The leaked medical consultation shows doctors explaining to Triple H that Roman's injuries were entirely preventable with proper safety protocols and immediate medical intervention. This level of brain trauma only occurs when attacks continue after loss of consciousness, the neurologist explained. Preventable. Roman Reigns is fighting for his life because Triple H failed to implement basic safety measures and allowed an attack to continue after the victim became unresponsive. The medical expert testimony directly contradicts Triple H's claims that this was an unforeseeable accident. It was the predictable result of his negligent safety practices and reckless direction to prioritize entertainment over human welfare. Every medical professional who has reviewed the case has concluded that proper safety protocols would have prevented Roman's critical condition. Triple H's failure to protect his talent is directly responsible for this tragedy. The leaked insurance investigation reveals that WWE's safety protocols were violated at every level during the attack on Roman Reigns. The company failed to follow their own established procedures for high-impact segments. And who was responsible for ensuring those safety protocols were followed? Triple H. As head of creative and talent relations, he had the authority and responsibility to enforce safety measures that could have prevented this tragedy. But he chose to prioritize entertainment value over performer protection, and now he's facing the consequences of his negligent leadership while Roman fights for his life. The insurance company has apparently told WWE that they may not cover Roman's medical expenses because the injuries resulted from willful violation of established safety protocols by company management. Triple H's reckless decision-making could leave Roman's family financially responsible for millions in medical bills while he tries to escape accountability for his role in causing the injuries. The moral bankruptcy of endangering talent and then potentially abandoning them financially is unprecedented in professional wrestling. Triple H has betrayed every principle of responsible leadership. The leaked conversation between Triple H and Vince McMahon shows the panic at WWE's highest levels when they realized the severity of Roman's condition. This could destroy the company, McMahon apparently told Triple H. How did you let this happen? Even Vince McMahon, who has been accused of prioritizing business over safety throughout his career, was shocked by the level of negligence that Triple H demonstrated in handling this segment. The fact that Triple H's safety failures were so extreme that they surprised Vince McMahon says everything about how badly he mishandled the situation that led to Roman's critical injuries. But instead of taking responsibility, Triple H apparently told McMahon that the wrestlers went rogue and exceeded their instructions. He's lying to his own boss to protect himself from the consequences of his decisions. The leaked production emails show that multiple staff members expressed concerns about the planned violence level before the attack, but Triple H overruled their safety objections because he wanted maximum impact. This seems excessive for a regular beatdown, one producer wrote. Maybe we should scale back the intensity or add more safety measures. Triple H's response: we're not running a safety seminar. Give them what they need to make it memorable. Multiple people tried to prevent this tragedy by raising safety concerns, but Triple H shut down every attempt to implement proper protections for Roman Reigns. He had numerous opportunities to prevent Roman's critical injuries, but he chose to prioritize entertainment spectacle over human safety at every decision point. The leaked audio from the production truck during the attack shows staff members expressing concern about Roman's condition in real time. He's not moving, one technician says. Should we stop this? But they were told to keep filming because stopping would ruin the segment. People watching the attack knew that Roman was seriously injured, but Triple H's culture of prioritizing television over safety prevented them from intervening to protect him. The callous indifference to obvious signs of injury shows how completely Triple H had corrupted WWE's safety culture in pursuit of viral moments and social media buzz. Roman's life was literally less important than completing a television segment according to the priorities that Triple H established for his production team. The medical timeline that leaked shows that Roman was unconscious for over 8 minutes after the attack ended, but WWE personnel delayed calling for emergency medical assistance because they were concerned about maintaining kayfabe and protecting the storyline. 8 minutes of potential brain death because Triple H's team was more worried about fictional storylines than real medical emergencies. The delayed response directly worsened Roman's condition and prognosis. Every second of delay in treating brain trauma can result in permanent damage. Triple H's entertainment priorities literally stole time from Roman's brain during the critical window for neuroprotective intervention. The negligent delay in medical care shows how thoroughly Triple H had indoctrinated his staff to prioritize business concerns over human welfare in emergency situations. But now he wants to act shocked that his corporate culture resulted in life-threatening negligence when Roman needed immediate medical attention. The leaked footage from Roman's hospital room shows him connected to life support machines while Triple H visits for what appears to be a photo opportunity rather than genuine concern. The staged nature of Triple H's hospital visit, complete with cameras and PR personnel, shows that even Roman's medical crisis is being used for corporate image management rather than authentic care for an injured employee. He's literally using Roman's fight for survival as a publicity opportunity while continuing to deny responsibility for causing the injuries that put him in critical condition. The exploitation of Roman's medical crisis for corporate public relations is morally repugnant and shows that Triple H views his talent as expendable assets rather than human beings deserving of protection and respect. The leaked conversation between Triple H and his publicity team reveals their strategy for managing the crisis. We need to show concern without admitting fault. Get some footage of me looking worried at the hospital, but don't let me make any statements that could be used against us legally. Crisis management. While Roman fights for his life, Triple H is calculating how to protect his reputation and legal position rather than focusing on getting his injured talent the best possible care. The prioritization of corporate image over human welfare continues even during Roman's medical emergency. Triple H hasn't learned anything from the negligent decisions that caused this tragedy. His primary concern remains protecting himself rather than protecting the talent who trusted him with their safety and career welfare. The backstage interview that leaked shows Bronson Reed expressing genuine remorse and concern about Roman's condition. "I never wanted to hurt him that badly," Reed says emotionally. "I thought we were following the plan. I feel terrible about what happened." Reed's authentic guilt and concern for Roman's welfare shows more humanity than Triple H has demonstrated throughout this entire crisis. The wrestler who delivered the physical attacks cares more about the victim than the executive who authorized the violence. Meanwhile, Triple H continues focusing on legal protection and reputation management rather than showing genuine remorse or concern for Roman's recovery and welfare. The contrast between Reed's human response and Triple H's corporate calculation shows who actually has wrestling industry values and who is merely using the business for personal advancement. Bron Breakker's leaked statement shows similar genuine concern. "If I had known it would hurt Roman this badly, I never would have participated. I respect him too much to want him seriously injured. I hope he recovives fully and can forgive us." Both wrestlers involved in the attack have shown more class, remorse, and genuine concern than the executive who put them in position to cause Roman's injuries. They're dealing with the psychological trauma of having potentially ended a colleague's career while Triple H worries about stock prices and legal liability. The moral leadership is coming from the talent level while management shows nothing but selfish concern for corporate protection. The complete inversion of responsibility and accountability is disgusting. The leaked therapy session shows Bronson Reed dealing with severe guilt and depression over Roman's condition. "I can't sleep knowing that Roman might die because of something I did," he tells his counselor. "Even though I was following instructions, I still feel responsible." Reed is experiencing genuine psychological trauma from his role in Roman's injuries, while Triple H sleeps peacefully knowing he successfully shifted blame away from his negligent decision-making. The human cost of Triple H's leadership failures extends beyond just Roman's injuries. It includes the mental health impact on wrestlers who trusted his judgment and now feel responsible for following his dangerous instructions. But Triple H shows no concern for the psychological welfare of any talent affected by his negligent management of this situation. The leaked conversation between WWE wrestlers shows widespread fear and concern about safety protocols under Triple H's leadership. "If this can happen to Roman Reigns, none of us are safe," one wrestler states. The locker room has lost confidence in Triple H's ability to protect talent from dangerous situations. His negligent handling of Roman's attack has created anxiety and fear throughout the roster. Multiple wrestlers have reportedly approached management requesting additional safety measures and clearer guidelines for violent segments, but Triple H has dismissed these concerns as overreactions to an isolated incident. He refuses to acknowledge that his leadership failures created systematic safety problems that affect the entire roster. His denial prevents the reforms needed to protect other wrestlers from similar tragedies. The leaked audio from a talent meeting shows Triple H telling wrestlers that they need to take responsibility for their own safety rather than admitting his role in creating dangerous working conditions. Victim blaming. He's telling wrestlers to protect themselves from the dangerous situations that his negligent management creates rather than fixing the systematic safety failures he's responsible for. The attempt to shift safety responsibility to individual wrestlers while maintaining management control over violent content is hypocritical and shows that Triple H hasn't learned anything from Roman's tragedy. He wants wrestlers to somehow magically protect themselves from the excessive violence that he continues authorizing without proper safety measures. The insurance evaluation that leaked shows WWE may face criminal liability for willful endangerment of employees through negligent safety practices. Triple H's decisions could result in felony charges if Roman's condition worsens. The legal exposure extends beyond civil liability to potential criminal prosecution for recklessly endangering an employee's life through systematic violation of workplace safety standards. But Triple H continues prioritizing reputation management over implementing the safety reforms that could prevent future tragedies and demonstrate genuine accountability for his failures. His focus remains on avoiding consequences rather than preventing similar incidents that could destroy other wrestlers' lives and careers. The leaked medical expert testimony states that Roman's specific injuries, severe brain trauma with prolonged unconsciousness, are consistent with assault rather than professional wrestling due to the excessive force and continuation after loss of consciousness. Assault. Medical professionals are saying that what happened to Roman crossed the line from professional wrestling into criminal violence due to the excessive force and negligent continuation after he became defenseless. Triple H authorized and enabled what medical experts classify as an assault on his own employee. His "we don't do that here" reaction is particularly hypocritical when he created the conditions that made it happen. The attempt to distance himself from assault-level violence that he personally authorized shows the depth of his dishonesty and moral cowardice in facing the consequences of his decisions. The leaked conversation between Roman's family and WWE management shows their fury at Triple H's handling of the situation. "You nearly killed him and now you're trying to blame everyone except yourself," Roman's wife apparently told Triple H during a heated hospital confrontation. Roman's own family sees through Triple H's attempts to avoid responsibility. They know he created the dangerous situation that nearly cost them their husband and father. But Triple H reportedly responded to their concerns with legal threats and corporate intimidation rather than genuine accountability and support for their medical crisis. The